This simple AI strategy currently makes me over 15k consistently every single month, and in today's video I'm going to break it all down from A to Z. There are so many different ways that you can make money online. You know, we got traditional social media marketing agencies, you got forex trading, you got copywriting, you got freelancing. You might think I'm biased by saying that because I'm making a video on it, but if you compare this business model to so many of the other business models, this business model right here is called software arbitrage, and if you compare it to so many other business models out there, the profit margins right here on any given month are between 90 and 95%. If you compare that to something like SMMA, a social media marketing agency, you got profit margins of 50%, 60%, maybe 70% if you're lucky. If you look into things like e-commerce, your average profit margins are between 20 and 30%. Now, I get it, profit margins aren't everything because it all depends on the cash flow coming in. But the main thing for me and the main thing for so many other people that I work with in terms of my clients is the fact that you get all of your time back. The most time consuming part about all of this is actually getting your clients all set up on the software, but the thing is, it only takes around 30 to 60 minutes every single client. Once you get a client onboarded to your software or to your AI solution, you don't really have to do much for them every single month. Yeah, you might gotta check in once a month or once every week just to see if there's any maintenance or if there's anything that they want checked out or changed. Whereas with another business model, if you're working with clients, you gotta be literally working with them every single day. If you're doing content creation, you gotta be posting content on their social media pages every day, every week, every month. Whereas with this, once it's set up, it's completely hands off. So in this video, I'm going to be showing you exactly how you can set up a simple AI solution that you can charge businesses anywhere from 300 to 1,000 euros, dollars, or pounds every single month. So what we want to do is we want to head over to our high level account. And if we head over to our sub account, and if you don't know what a sub account is, it's pretty much a branch of your own client. So you have a main agency sort of account. Every single one of your clients is going to have sub accounts inside the software. So if you head down into settings inside of that sub account, head over to phone numbers on the left hand side. We want to purchase a phone number for ourselves or for our client. You know, if we were implementing this for a client right now, it all depends on the country that you're in. So if your client is in the US, you can purchase any US number. If your client is in the UK, you can go ahead and purchase any of the UK numbers. It's all the same for all of these other countries right here. You can get phone numbers in practically most of the countries around the world. Once we go ahead and purchase any of these phone numbers, and we want to make sure it's a mobile number, not a landline number, because we want to be able to send text message to our potential customer. We then want to head over to advanced settings up the top and head over to voicemail and missed call text back. If you scroll down, you gotta enable missed call text back. So when this is enabled, and by the way, you can change the custom message right here. I normally just keep it the same, just the way it is. It says, hi, this is location name. And say, for example, your client was called XYZ Restaurant. For example, it would say, hi, this is XYZ Restaurant. I saw that we just missed your call. How can I help? So how this works, whenever someone calls the phone number that you've just purchased for the business, if for whatever reason the business owner, you know, your client, didn't actually answer the phone, because that's the thing, these business owners, they're not always at their phone. And if we head over to Google and search for this, nearly 62% of phone calls made to small businesses are left unanswered. That's more than half. So if, for example, a business is making, you know, 20,000 per month, they're missing out on another potential 20,000 extra every single month, which is crazy. It's insane. So this simple solution that we're about to show you how to implement for your clients is going to save them so much money, but it's also going to make them so much more revenue. So if we head over, we can enable this missed call text back. So what happens whenever someone calls the business and they don't answer, they don't pick up the phone, instantly, right away, they're going to receive this text message, and it says, like I said, hi, this is XYZ Restaurant, or whatever your client's called. I saw that we missed your call. How can I help? So why this actually happens, take, for example, the last city that you were in, you know, a city that you weren't too familiar with. If you were hungry and you wanted to find a restaurant near you, what you're going to do, and we all do this, is we go to Google Maps, we search for restaurants near me. Usually it's one of the top restaurants up on that list that we're ultimately going to go to, because the businesses up the top, They have, the most amount of reviews. They have, the best looking food because their images and everything are perfect on there. So what happens if you're in one of these cities and you're going to call the business to book in to see if they have any availability to maybe book in for a table of 4? If that business does not answer, what you're going to do is you're going to go to the next one down the list or the next one down the list. You're going to go for your second option. But before you even get the chance to call up that next business, you're going to instantly receive this text message back. Like I said, it says, "How can I help?" You're going to reply to that message and you're going to say, "Yeah, all good. I wonder, have you got a table for 4 in about 30 minutes from now or 60 minutes from now?" And your client, whenever they see that text message coming in, they're going to be able to reply to that. But I'm also about to show you something else that your client can do to make the process extremely hands off. So if we now head over on the left hand side to Conversation AI, this is essentially a booking bot which you can implement for your clients. So it makes the process extremely hands off. They don't need to sit there and reply to all the potential customers, and they don't need to make the bookings. What we can do is we can create a bot. We can create an appointment booking bot. Once we're inside of here, we can just name the bot. So we can just call it XYZ Restaurant Bot. We can set the bot status then, so we can turn it off. We can have suggestive text. So instead of it actually automatically send the messages out, we can verify them beforehand, or we can set it up on autopilot. So what will happen here is whenever that message comes in, AI is going to automatically reply to that message and book them in for, their table or for their appointment. So it will actually be able to read your client's calendar to make sure that there's availability. It's not going to just randomly book them in on any time and then there's going to be, some hassle because, turns out there was no table at that time. It's going to be able to connect up and sync to your client's calendars to make sure that it has availability. We can also choose the different platforms that we want this to work on. So we got SMS enabled. What we can do is we can enable live chat, we can enable Instagram DMs, and we can enable Facebook messages. We can enable literally any of these, the chat widget, the live chat, whatever. But these are the main ones that we normally implement for our clients because, these businesses are getting messaged in so many different places. They're getting text messages, they're getting WhatsApp messages, they're getting DMs to their Instagram and to their Facebook page, people asking, "What time are you guys open?" or "Can I book a table?" You can pretty much consolidate all of these platforms all in one, connect up this AI booking bot, and have AI completely take over the conversations. What we can then do if we scroll down is we can choose the wait time before responding. So, it would be a little bit fishy if we did this to 1 second. That means whenever someone replies, they're going to get the reply within 1 second. You sort of want to add a little bit of a human aspect because, no person can reply in 1 second. Whereas if we have, 1 minute on there or 2 minutes, these people that is texting in, they think it's an actual person that they are dealing with. So they don't think it's AI because, nobody is really used to dealing with AI these days. It's so brand new. We can then set the maximum amount of messages that the bot can send in a conversation. What we can then do is we can hit on save. We can scroll over then to bot training. So this right here is essentially where the bot will be trained on all the information that you give it. What we can then do is we can feed the bot your client's website. So the thing is, this bot, you don't need to just sit there and type absolutely everything out there about the business. You can give the bot your client's website and then the bot will scrape everything on that website. It will try and learn as much as possible from the information that's on the website. So it'll be able to pick up, the opening hours, the menu, the different types of clients that they serve. It will literally scrape absolutely everything. But another thing that we can do is we can feed the bot more information. We can also set Q&A. So if we add Q&A, we can have the question is, "When do you guys open?" And then what you can do is you can set the default answer to, "We are open Monday to Friday from 9 till 5. You can save that, and then the bot is going to automatically save that in the database. So anytime someone messages with that question right there, the answer is going to automatically get sent out. We can also test the bot over on the left hand side. So we can pretend that we are someone on the other side of this. We can say, "What do you guys do?" We can hit send, and then the bot is going to answer that question as if it was replying to a customer. So as you can see, I have my website on here. We help people build their own software businesses by providing valuable insights and information. I would probably slightly change that. If you do need to slightly change that, you can click on the down button and you can pretty much just change the answer inside of there. The next thing then is the bot goal. So you need to set an exact goal for the business for what that bot is going to do. So for some people, that might be to book an appointment. For some people, that might be to pay a deposit. For some people, the bot might be just a general helpline, just a general Q&A place. You can essentially just give the bot the prompts, so you can tell it, what to do, what the intent is, and you can pretty much just tell it what exactly to do. So we can do appointment booking. We can then choose the calendar that the bot is going to read from. So we're just going to choose my 1 hour consultation calendar. We can hit save on there. So the goal now for this bot, whenever someone has a conversation, it's going to try and book that person in for an appointment. So it's going to ask it some questions. It's going to give it some info. Whenever someone's ready to book that appointment, it is then going to scan my calendar right there for the available opening times. And it's then going to proceed to book that person in. It's going to ask them for their name, their email, their phone number, and any other information that you've set up for the bot to ask for. And there you go, you've automatically booked these people in for meetings without having another team member that you're paying for to go ahead and book these appointments in. You're able to implement this for your clients, and it doesn't matter what industry. Like I said, you can work with restaurants, you can work with hotels, you can work with real estate agencies, you can work with roofing companies, insurance companies. It literally does not matter. And that's exactly why this is so valuable, because you're essentially able to free up so much time for that business owner, so they don't need to hire a dedicated person to be able to handle all these messages. Instead of that business owner paying some employee $2,000 a month or $3,000 a month, why would they not pay you $500 a month or $1,000 a month to set this up for them, to free up so much of their time, so they don't need to manage another staff member, they don't need to add anyone on their payroll, they don't need to train the employee. AI can pretty much take over this entire process. Real quick guys, if you do want to set up your very own software arbitrage business so you can implement all of these different solutions that I talk about in all my videos for different businesses and different clients around the world, all you got to do is drop a sub right here on YouTube. Also head over to my Instagram. I'm going to leave the link for that down below. Head over to my profile and just DM me the word software, and we'll be able to help you implement absolutely everything that I talked about in today's video, so you can achieve some amazing results exactly like these students that I'm about to show you right now. Look at Seth right here, who hit 7.2k per month in monthly recurring revenue inside of his first 6 weeks. And as you can see, he has over $100,000 per month worth of monthly recurring revenue sitting inside of his pipeline right now, which is well over $1 million per year. Or like Isaac right here, who is currently making over £5,000 consistently every single month with literally zero previous experience. And I'm leaving enough time here so you can read everything inside of these screenshots right here from all these amazing guys that I've been working with over the course of the last few weeks and the last few months. We got Daniel right here, who went from making not any money at all, he wasn't making anything, to 6k inside of his first 2 weeks. We got Philip Anthony right here, who wasn't making any money either, to 9.8k collected inside of his first 6 weeks. So he had one client pay $497 per month, but he also had another client pay 9.3k for an entire year up front. Jishnu, a 17-year-old student making over $2,000 in 1 month. Daniel right here making 3k with just one client. Miguel made €2,090 inside his first 2 weeks after our very first one-to-one session. Or like Ross right here, who made 1.2k inside of his first month. So many amazing results. And if you want to be next, if you want to be one of these amazing students right here, like I said, drop a sub on my channel, head over to my Instagram and DM me the word software. So that's pretty much everything for today's video. I hope by now you understand the power if you're leveraging AI solutions for these businesses. I hope that you can see the opportunity. By now you probably have so many different ideas going around in your head for different local businesses that maybe even in your area that can use this. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to sub to my channel on here and drop a like. If you have any questions, feel free to drop them down below. My name is Jason McElchar, and I'll see you in the next one.